Well, always a first. Had such good going on. So I hope everybody will sign back on. That is just, I guess that's what happens when you, technology. Dang it. That was good conversation, Handon. So good. There we got. Okay, so we'll get back, everybody. I'm hoping. Hold on just a second. What a pain in the butt. Sorry, shouldn't have said that. Oh, what?
Okay.
I mean, I hope everybody will come back. If not, I'm posting this anyway.
Right. Yeah.
They won't see
It'll
both of them. They'll just see the
see this.
crazy one that we
This.
just. Dang!
Oh, it happens.
I know, but that we had it going on. All right. Anyway, Crystal, thank you.
Thank you, Angie.
So start over. Just tell them again. I know. Start with your introduction, then we'll go from
Okay,
there.
no problem. Crystal Hyatt, my design name is Factory Girl Design. I'm a knitwear designer, and I also have, which we'll talk about here, some different products, and one particularly is my Factory Girl Maker's Box. I started designing 7 years ago, so October marks my anniversary, which is also my birthday month too. So
Yay!
it's been a busy month, and I've had probably way too many new things come out in this month, but it just all kind of fell that way with some collaborations that I was doing, and with Rhinebeck. I just got back from Rhinebeck and had a couple of really exciting launches there. So, but aside from the design world, that's my fun, thing to do on the side to keep things creative. And my everyday job is overseeing a manufacturing business. So that's where the Factory Girl name comes from. I've worked in manufacturing and factories pretty much my entire life. So my family has a manufacturing business that I've now running for our family. Next April, we'll celebrate 40 years. But prior to coming back to my family's business, I worked for other manufacturing companies around the country. So
Wow.
I love that world. I love the ins and outs and
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
how things are made, and there's so many things in our homes we take for granted that you're like, you just think it all comes from one place, like your GE refrigerator, they
Oh,
make
yeah.
everything inside. Well, they don't. People like me and others are making a lot of the components that are in there, and same like in your dishwashers and
That's right.
um, all different sorts of things. So that's what I do every day, and then I take some free time on the weekends and the evenings to do the fiber fun stuff.
Well,
So
when you told me about running the business for 43 years, I was a banker,
yeah.
business banker. So the deal is that you're so right. Because I always found that I'd meet the person that made the glue for the grass that you see the paintings on the football field. It was like, so all these little different, I mean, he made a whole business of just that
Hmm.
adhesive, which, you're like, huh, how?
Right.
But that's how I used to live through them because it was so fun to understand the ins and outs. And I also think that that helps with running a business, no matter what it is, even a
Yeah.
small business. So, I mean, a small fiber business.
Yes,
So even it could be a huge company, but there's still the same basics and
it
ethics and
is.
all of that kind of
It
stuff.
is.
So,
Yep.
but
Still got
that's
to do all the
awesome.
same stuff, all the same rules.
Oh
So
yeah. Isn't it
yeah,
wild? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
just
It
one
is.
person versus a whole
I
company
know.
of people.
I know. I'm lucky to have a great team here that takes on so much and makes everything keep running. So
That's
it's
awesome.
wonderful. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's good. So, but yeah, so that's a little about my background. And I live in Minnesota. Can't remember if I mentioned that. And it's 80 degrees here, which we kind of talked about earlier before we got cut off. And I so want fall. The colors are gorgeous. After being in Rhinebeck and having literally the most perfect weekend,
It
It's so hard.
was,
It
and I
was.
wasn't there.
I know.
last
Next, I
last year it
really,
rained.
yeah, I know. I know it was so rainy and
Mm.
warm last year, and then, but oh my God, this year was amazing. It was just perfect to wear all the knits and still be comfortable throughout the whole day. So, and there was such a joy among everyone that you ran into, like no matter where they came from or who you were, everyone was just so happy. Like everyone happy to be together. So many hugs, seeing so many amazing vendors and new products. And I don't know, it just had like, I've gone probably 5 different times over the course of my knitting life, and which isn't very long. I've just been knitting for 13 years. So I don't know, there was just something about this year that just made it so different and like even more magical than any of the others. So it was, I'm still on cloud nine like 2 weeks later.
What did you go to any of the other? Did you go to India
I
Tangled
was
or
at,
Cape
yeah,
Palooza?
just Indie Untangled. So one of my latest, or two of my latest releases that I've had, pattern releases, there was a sweater release and a hat release, the Currents pullover and then the Dryden hat. And both of those were in collaboration with Mitchell Wool Company,
Oh
which
yeah.
is a company based out of Michigan. Farm to yarn, gorgeous yarns. They had two new bases that were released earlier this year. One was a Surrey alpaca, and then the other one was a camel,
Mm.
a DK, and then the other one was a camel,
Yeah.
bulky. Oh,
Yeah.
they're heavenly. But I ended up spending the day at Indie Untangled because we were promoting those and just hanging
Yeah.
out with the team there. And I don't think I could, even if I wasn't doing that, I kept running into so many people. I couldn't even leave. I didn't even get to like do my whole shopping experience because the 2 hour window that you have, I ran out of time. I was in one hall the whole time. So thankfully I was there the whole day. I was able to like make it around everywhere,
Yeah.
but there were so many new vendors there. Lisa does such a fabulous job. And I go to Cake Palooza too, and Alyssa does a great job there too. I just couldn't fit it in with my schedule, and I probably could have made it to the very last session, but I was so
Oh
pooped out by then. I was
gosh.
like,
Yeah.
I got to get home. So I did the Indie Untangled, and then Saturday and Sunday I was at New York Sheep and Wool, and
Okay.
I didn't do full days. I can't do full days. It's just it it's overwhelming. I'm an extrovert, but I'm also like when you're around so many people all like for days on end, it gets to be a lot and crowds get to be a lot too.
That's right.
So um, I only did half days, and that was actually perfect because then I didn't spend too much money either.
That's true. I understand. I
Oh,
understand.
yeah. And but I did spend, I didn't have room in my suitcase to haul everything home. So our dear friend Kimberly, I sent her home with some bags that she shipped back to me.
Oh
So I
my
was like,
gosh.
God bless her.
That's hilarious. So she was on the first time. I don't know if she joined back up or not, but yeah,
Oh
that's
no.
hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
because
she was the lifesaver. Otherwise, I would have had to go buy a new suitcase just to bring it home. Um, but no, it's a great time. So I hope you make it
oh, I hope
next
so.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of fun when I go. I don't necessarily have to get yarn because I can,
Yes.
but I look for the new yarn, maybe collaboration or a trunk show or this, and I'll try a sample here and there. So that's the only thing I can keep myself from, going
Yeah.
crazy is that, I can't knit with it unless
Right.
I sell it. So,
Yeah.
but I do look for lots of gadgets and bags, and so sometimes I go a little crazy in that area. But
Yeah.
I tend to find something that I can deal with, use or
There's
whatever. So it's
it's
always so much
yes.
fun. I think there would have been a couple of I don't know. There just seemed to be a lot of different vendors too, and so it would have been fun just to see. But that's good.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
there was. And I came home with some yarn, but most of what I came home with was
Uh-huh.
fiber.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah. I forgot about that. I did go down a rabbit hole due to Kimberly.
Oh my
And
God, that's such a
that's
rabbit
what I would
hole.
be buying is the fiber. Yes. Okay. I take that back.
Oh, I know. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to really buy anything. I don't need anything. It was more of like a shopping trip for a buying trip, I'll say that, for the makers boxes and seeing what was new and what was exciting and that
Cool.
I would was falling in love with. But then all of a sudden I kept seeing all this gorgeous fiber everywhere and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. Oh, I can do that." And now I'm one of those people that when I get into something, I go all in. So
Wow.
like I
Oh
get all
yeah.
the tools, I get all the fiber. I probably have more fiber now, like I have yarn that I'll never be able to use in my
Oh yeah.
lifespan.
I do too. I mean, I've got to start thinking about what I'm going to do. Gift it somewhere or somehow or whatever.
I
But
know.
yeah. So, but so you spin?
Well, I'm just
Okay.
learning. So
So what are you using?
I'm using an e-wheel from Dreaming Robots.
Yes.
Yes,
Which one?
the 6.1 because I got the latest one when they I think it was May they got their last shipment in or something
Yeah.
like that. And I had was like waiting and waiting because I wanted to join Tour de Fleece and like I was like that's gonna be my 30 days that I'm gonna figure out or 20 some days that I'm gonna figure out how to spin. And so leading up to that, I bought the spinner and then I just started watching like all these random YouTube videos like how do you spin? How do you get started? What do you need? And then on the first day of the Tour de France, I was like, okay, let's figure it out. And it's been a lot. It's been a fun learning experience. I was fortunate to spend some time with the gentleman who owns the Hanson Spinner Company at
Okay.
the Rhinebeck. I think it's a Hanson. I am gonna mess it up, but um, spend some time with him at his booth at
Because he
New York Sheep
does
and Wool.
demonstrations, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he was showing me tips and tricks, and that was so helpful to like finally have somebody see it in
Oh
person
yeah.
instead of always watching on a video or trying to figure it out from a book. And then I was sharing a house, and Kimberly, our friend Kimberly, was
He brought
also in
it.
that same house. Yeah, and she had that, and then she's like giving me tricks. And then I ended up upgrading while I was away last weekend and got this auto winder. Have any
Oh,
of you heard of this yet?
listen, she's already told me the auto winder and then a battery pack and a.
And I don't have the battery pack yet, but my auto winder arrived yesterday. And so I put that on right away. And I was like, oh my God, my life's already changed.
So you
So,
tried it with it? I've got it on, but I haven't put it. I haven't used it. I.
oh, you need to.
Mhm.
For me, it's been, and I'm like a super newbie spinner.
Oh,
I am
I
not very
am
good at
too.
all.
I mean, she showed me in April,
Okay. Oh yeah, when you guys were together. Yes.
and I
So,
haven't been able to do much because I've had to get some samples. But I'm starting to get sample knitters. But oh yeah, and I'm dying. I sits right there. I see it, and I got all the stuff now. I'm ready.
I know. No, it makes such a difference because you don't now you just like focus on your hands and your
Yes,
drafting and what you're doing and you don't
it's
have to stop and check. It's
it's a game
amazing.
changer. Yes.
Total game changer. So yeah, so I'm excited to keep learning more about
Good.
fiber and spinning. So
I,
yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to go to a spinning retreat. So I
Oh,
don't know. Maybe just get a not even say a retreat and just tell everybody where y'all come. We're just going to bring our spinners and
yeah.
sit somewhere for a while and just learn from each other. But yeah, so.
That would be amazing. Really amazing. So
hmm
yeah.
So what else is going? I know your makers boxes,
I know. So let's talk about those. Um,
and I haven't put any of the goodies you're going to the discounts. I'll put it on the well, hopefully this
okay.
one.
Okay.
If
Yes.
I'll put it
So
on the bottom of this reel.
perfect. The makers boxes are something that I started back in 24, and Angie's been a part of it, I think, the entire year.
I love it.
Oh, thank you so much. I love hearing that. But they ship quarterly, so they ship the first week of each new quarter. So there's winter, spring, summer, and fall. And then each box highlights indie dyer that I've like fallen in love with their either dyeing style or the types of bases that they use. And then there's a crochet pattern, a knitting pattern, and then a number of other little makers goodies and a few other little treats and things in there that might relate back to self-care or something for your home, some decor, and always like a little treat or something sweet. There always has to be
Mm-hmm.
something sweet in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then each quarter has a theme photo that the products and the yarn is kind of all based around or inspired by. Um, so 2025, I have one more box so the fall box shipped right at the beginning of October. Those are in everybody's hands now. There is a holiday box that'll be shipping here at the end of November for December.
I'm so
So
excited.
those, oh, I cannot wait. I started packing everything. It's gonna be
It's
really
so
cool.
much. Oh, it's so cool. I just
And
love it.
yes. So very excited for that. And then for January is when the first winter box for 2025 comes out. And that theme, I'm going to hold up this little photo here so everyone can kind of
Ooh.
see a little bit. But the theme for 2025 is desert blooms.
Ooh,
So
that's
this image
beautiful.
up here is winter. So it is kind of like a little bit muted. But I can't wait to release this box. It has some really special things in it. This will be spring. Summer's down here in the bright
Ooh.
purple, pinks, and yellows, and then fall is a little
Oh,
bit more, little moody.
how cool.
But it's all focusing on the desert. I mean, the desert's such a magical place, and so many times, you just think of maybe green with the cacti, the brown with the dirt. But at night, and like after the random rain falls, and you get the heat during the day and the cool at in the night, you get all these amazing things that emerge and bloom throughout the course of the year that we don't always see and aren't always captured and you don't really
Yeah,
realize. So I wanted to kind of pay tribute to that.
that's pretty
Um,
cool.
yeah, so I'm very excited. So pre-orders are now open for the boxes for 2025. They are limited. There's a limited quantity each quarter. And then there's options you can either purchase by the quarter, you could do a half year subscription, or you could do a full year subscription. So it's your choice of what you would like to do. But yeah, so it's a lot of fun and it's just something special that comes to your doorstep each quarter and just kind of brings a little spark and extra joy into your creative moments. And I hope that my hope is that when you open it, it's an experience for you to just kind of take that moment, sit back, and enjoy each little surprise as you unwrap each item
Yeah,
in there.
I loved
Yeah.
it. I think January was my favorite last this year because of, I don't know, maybe it was my first one,
Mhm.
but I loved, of course, Shelly was in there, her yarn. But I love the fact that you give a crochet and a knitting pattern
Thank you.
in there. And I don't know, I think I got a pen and a little book, and I loved it. I love all of it. And it's just fun to open up different ones and to see. And in fact, I love the little pouches.
I
Um,
know.
I love.
That was
Uh,
probably
uh,
I the January box last year really focused on everything that was included in there had a theme around travel, being able to
is that
take.
what it? Okay.
Yeah,
It's
because
perfect.
the little pouch, the mini scissors, all the little mini things that they're easy to travel no matter where you were going.
Uh,
Throw them in your bag. So just simple,
and your
simple little
favorite
things.
things, I think, too. It's just cool because you don't, I love yarn. Don't get me wrong, and fiber and all that good stuff. But sometimes it's just cool to get something like that when it's not necessarily all yarn or all. It's
Yeah.
just to have the little bits of pieces. Because I was searching for an advent, and I've got the tea advent for for this year. And I'm so excited to have one, to be a tease. So that's,
Yeah.
and kind of cool. But yeah, so I think you gave a coupon, it's a code, Yarn Yogi. No, I don't know what it is. It'll be on the bottom of this, right?
Yes.
Yes. And that's
Yarn Yogi 10, and then you can get 10% off your purchase for the box. So
Yes.
whether you purchase a subscription or just one individual box, you'll receive 10% off that.
Yes.
So yes, but yeah, the code will be in there and probably a link, or you go to shopfactorygirl.com and that takes you to where the
Okay.
orders are
And
at.
don't wait, guys, if you're interested, because
Yeah. They
I thought I had one, so
That's
signed up for
right.
it.
You missed that is right. I forgot about that.
I
Yeah.
swore that I did it. I swore I did it. And I went back and looked at all my receipt, everything, trying to find it. That's why I double check with you now. But I've gotten better. I keep copies, but I missed out.
Yeah,
And
on the
I
spring
could have kicked
one.
myself. Oh yeah,
Hmm.
I don't even want to know. I don't even remember the preview. I don't want to know because I was just very upset about that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so if you want it, do it. That's why I'm ahead now. Already went into 25, so
Hmm.
I'm not going to miss another one. It's just fun. It's something you can do for yourself. So
Yes.
that's the big thing.
So I have an extra box still for the fall. So I'm gonna
Oh,
show a couple things if
yes.
that's okay. Just to
Yeah.
kind of give people an idea. So for October, for fall this year, the here we go. This was 2024 images. So the fall was this beautiful purple and green and different shades of yellow and gold in there. Floral and Plies and Hellhounds, Gabby from there. I reached out to her to see if she would be
Gorgeous.
interested in being our yarn dyer. And we put together, or she dyed up this a mohair and then this beautiful fingering that's on
Isn't that
a
gorgeous?
cordell and nylon. And so hopefully you can kind of see a little bit of the color
It's
in there.
beautiful.
But oh, I love this. I'm a huge
Perfect.
purple fan, so
Perfect
that's my favorite
color.
color.
Mm.
So selfishly, this was my favorite, but
Ah!
every color throughout the whole year was absolutely gorgeous. And then also in the box, because it was fall and when I plan the boxes and I think about the quarter, I think about like the changings of the seasons and where things can kind of tend to lean to. And summer this year was all about summer sips, and I had a bunch of mocktails, treats, and things like that in there, and some glasses. And so for the fall, I decided to do a spice kit, which is great because you can use it for a party if you're having like a Halloween party this week or for Thanksgiving, or just do individual, like smaller servings. And then we also included a fun little coffee mug. And it's a nice big mug with a handle. I like big
Yes.
handles,
Me
so I
too.
don't worry about dropping it. And then also included was some Wisconsin maple syrup. This is
Mm.
a local family that's not too far from where I live
Oh,
that they tap their own syrups. And I just did the basic maple syrup because everybody loves that. But the cool thing that they do there is they also create different infused flavors of maple syrup that are used for whether you want to make mocktails or cocktails, to use in cooking, like even
really?
for like if you're cooking pastas or steaks or stir fry, like all these unique flavors. It's really, really cool. The name of their company is Tapped, and they are in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. But I like to also include something that's a little bit local to us too. The other thing I included was dryer balls. I just thought these were
Yes.
adorable.
I
And I
lost a
use them.
face on mine, one of
Oh
mine,
no!
due to the Great
Oh,
Pyrenees.
my puppy loves these darn things too. I cannot drop them on the ground.
I know.
She's
I
too
looked over
quick.
and I went, "What is that?" And it was her face laying there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh my
That's too funny. And then the other thing was some beautiful walnut coasters
yeah,
for our mugs. And then one of my favorite fall treats is a stroop
yeah."
waffle, and
That could
these
have
are
been
cute
a
little
box
shapes.
full.
Yeah, I know. So those are some of, and then there was also the crochet. I include cards in there for the patterns for everything, and then the crochet. I'm not a crochet designer, but I've been collaborating with some really cool people
Yes,
to have them be part of the
that's
box
right.
too. And Helda is from the UK, and she just creates absolutely gorgeous designs. So I was excited to feature her in this box. But that kind of gives you a little taste of what you might
Awesome.
find, and sometimes there's a little more and sometimes a little less, or not a little less. This would be the smallest. It just kind of depends on the yarn, how much yarn is included
That's right. You gave
in
two
there.
skeins this time, so
Yeah.
that's a different story. So yeah,
Yep.
that makes
Yep.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. So
But what
yeah.
I like
So
is you do small, yet you give them exposure to other people who would never, I would never know about Taft ever.
mhm. Yeah.
But and the crochet designers and knitting, giving them lots of exposure there. But a small business, it's all it just does a lot of good for everything. So I enjoyed it, and that's why I support
Thank
it. Because
you.
I really think it's wonderful. So I hope those of you out there, like I said, will put it on in writing on the end of this video, and then I'll share it. I think I can collaborate with you too
Yeah.
when I do that, but I'll also, but then it'll go to Facebook as well. So
Perfect.
maybe we'll get some, but more folks signed up
Yeah.
and interested for the future.
I know. So many
So,
fun
do
things. So
we
I'm
get any
very excited.
sneak peek of what's going on next year of anything? Ooh,
Ooh, I don't know.
okay.
It's
Probably
maybe
not, but just got, heard you said a lot's
there,
going on, right?
there's so much happening. I'm still doing the boxes,
Okay.
and then I'm working on a podcast too that I'm gonna be launching here in 2025.
Oh,
It's
that's awesome.
called the Relax, Unwind, and Create.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
yeah, so one of my favorite things that was exploring with this year was mocktails. And I've just personally have taken a step back from drinking al drinking alcohol. Like I still have a glass of wine here and there, but it's just I've been finding as I've keep reaching well, now I'm past the middle of the 40s. But as I keep getting a little bit older, I just can't it's just not I don't know.
I know.
Things are changing.
Uh-huh.
And so but I love that special experience of coming home or on a weekend, just like sitting down and creating something pretty to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been having fun with mocktails. And the past 2 years, I've released collections based around mocktail. Like I've had a pattern
Oh,
and then
yeah,
there's
yeah.
recipes included with that. And so that's part of the thing with going for with the podcast too, is sharing a new recipe, just taking that time to kind of unwind, relax and chat a little bit, share what's new, and then knit and then share, and that'll be or create, and that'll be something where we're either going to have a guest speaker on to talk about something new, talk about shearing or dyeing yarn or spinning or new
Mm-hmm.
techniques. So that's
That's
one thing that's
awesome.
new. And then I have some new designs and collaborations coming that I just
Good.
can't talk about yet.
That's all right.
Um,
But
but
that's
I
something to
can't
look
wait to
forward to.
share.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. But yeah, so and like still right now for through next Saturday for the new sweaters that have well, actually all patterns. Um to celebrate my birthday on the anniversary, I am doing a 25% off sale right now
Okay,
on all of my patterns.
okay,
And you can either order or buy them off Ravelry or right from my website too.
okay.
And then later in November, I have a new shawl design coming out that features primrose yarn. And if you sign up for my newsletter, there's a special Thanksgiving gift that comes out every year at Thanksgiving. So
Oh, good.
for only newsletter subscribers. So just a little hint
Yes.
there if you want something special and unique in your inbox, along with other fun details. In my newsletters, once a month, I also include
Oh, your newsletter's so nice.
oh, thank you. I
I
always
mean, I
include
really just It's more than a newsletter. I don't know. It's really, really, really good. I
Thank you.
really, I just don't know how you find the time to do all of that. I struggle.
It's it's a lot of late nights
Oh my
or
gosh.
early Sunday
It just
mornings.
looks so good and the right,
Thanks.
perfect content. So
Oh, I
keep
appreciate
doing what
that.
you're doing on that. That's for sure.
One of
So,
the top one monthly topic that always gets included is my favorite things
yeah.
section, which I like to include that, and that's a little bit of everything. That could be like something like this new shampoo that I found, or a recipe that I've been enjoying, or the latest bag that I can't live without. So like just different things to kind of trigger, you to find new stuff too, or maybe it'll
Yes.
be something that you were looking for, and oh, it would be like the perfect fit.
That's right.
So I like to include that, um and then also I feature everybody that was in the latest makers box. We'll do like a blog post on that dyer or the designer or one of the companies that are in there. So just some different information, not always selling. I try not to do selling, and this October was a lot of selling, sadly, and I don't like that. I like to share more information than like, hey, here's another new
Yeah.
pattern.
That's
But
it.
that's the
You got
life
to
we're
do
in
what
too.
you
So
got to do
yep,
sometimes.
yep, yeah. But
That's
anyways,
great.
yeah, so that's what's
Well,
happening.
that's awesome. Well, I'm excited that I got to have you on, and like I
Thank you.
said, I think everything you do. I don't know. It's just interesting. You just have a lot of hands in different places, but you really, but it looks. I don't know. Everything is just done with such panache. So you did really wonderful. I
Thank you.
really do enjoy it. The newsletter. I'm glad you mentioned it because I did think to myself the other day that has just like you said, it's just different information and it's not too much. It's just enough to, tantalize or intrigue or whatever.
Yeah, a
So,
quick like 2-minute read. It won't take,
hmm,
yeah, yeah.
very much so.
We get enough emails all
Oh
the time. I want to have
yeah,
something. My goal is to give you a nice message or a little story to be able to learn something or feel good about,
yeah,
what's happening in life, and that's it. So it's supposed to spark a little joy and happiness, not be too heavy.
that's cool. That's cool.
So,
Well, I thank you for coming on. And
thank
like I said,
you.
I'll share it with everyone. And
Thanks.
I wish you lived closer so that I could get you drive Pearl to you. But she's not gonna make it that far. I'm
We'll
not
have
gonna
to
try
figure
it.
out a time, like someplace we can kind of meet in the middle
I know we need
somewhere.
to
So,
figure something like
yeah,
that. I've told that to Kimberly too. We just need to
yeah,
all come and
yeah.
just kind of.
Where's the center
I
point
know we
between
need
the three of
to
us?
what would put it on the map and to a yarn to the
Uh-huh.
right place.
Yes, let's
We'll
do
figure
it.
something out. I think that would be fun.
For
Um,
sure.
but listen, I'll always support and do whatever I can for you. And just know if there's something out there that you want me to share with my folks, I'll be glad to do
I
it. So
appreciate
there's
that.
Tabitha. She's joy.
Oh,
Hello, Tabitha.
hi, Tabitha. So fun. Well, I
Um,
so
you're
appreciate
most
that, and same to
welcome.
you.
All right, my dear. Well, have a
Okay.
great day, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.